tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Good morning. Yeah, good morning. Happy Sunday morning. Oh. It's Sunday morning. I don't have much to say. Yesterday was a really good day. Just very, 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 very busy. Very busy. Man, we got through it. I had another good meeting last night. Yeah. So we'll be in language of the heart today. Getting the spiritual angle. And I'll probably read from comes from the daily reflection. I almost called it the daily trudge. That would be this. It's the daily trudge that does the daily reflection. Man, you'd think Sundays would be one of my bigger days, but no, it's not. It's not like you're missing out on football. I ain't till 4. So, but I think a lot of people go to church. They have their Sunday morning meetings. So, yeah. So I'm not really going to anticipate too many people. It'll probably happen about, I'm going to guess, the 18 minutes and 21 seconds. That's when people will really start showing up. That's my guess today. So we'll see what happens. Let's go ahead and get started. We're at that 3-minute mark, and I don't know what else to do to keep expanding the time or keep you entertained. So welcome to Daily Trudge. My name is Dion, which you probably know by now. That's okay. You can wear it out. You wear it out. I like being the center of attention. So when I want to be. If you're here, please say hello if you're watching live or the rewatch. All right, let's read out of here first, and then we'll get to the book. A spiritual experience can be the realization that a life which once seemed empty and devoid of meaning is now joyous and full. In my life today, daily prayer and meditation, coupled with living in the 12 steps, has brought about an inner peace and feeling of belonging which was missing when I was drinking. All right, so we will be in Language of the Heart, page 274. It's about a page and a half long, so we may not even get to the 18-minute mark. Who knows? I have no idea what I'm going to say, so it doesn't matter. Spiritual Experiences, July 1962. All right. It is the intention of the Grapevine to carry the occasional accounts of spiritual experiences. To this interesting project, I would like to say a few introductory words. There is a very natural tendency to set apart those experiences or awakening which happen to be sudden, spectacular, or vision producing. You know, I don't know. No, because when I was thinking about it, I'm like, where was my spiritual experience? See, I've had several of them. And there's a benefit too to having several of them instead of all of it at once. Something to be said for that, of the educational variety. Your spiritual experiences shouldn't stop. You should be having spiritual experiences all the time. A spiritual experience is just understanding that there's a lot of beauty, there's a lot of great things in this world. You can have a spiritual experience anytime you want if you decide to have it, right? I have not met many people. I wouldn't even venture to guess a percentage, you know. But either way works. What is this? Well, it's the needs. It is our needs being met. It is understanding that our higher power knows us so well that it knows how to present it to us. I am a spiritual being. You're a spiritual being. But I have to decide to be a spiritual being. I have to make that decision. I have to make a conscious decision to be a spiritual being that day. Can't just decide once, every day. Therefore, any recital of such cases always produces mixed reactions. Some will say, I wish I could have an experience like that. No, no, thank you. I would rather not. I've had some sudden spiritual experiences, not of the upheaval variety, but sudden changes, and they're very fucking uncomfortable. I'm not a big fan of them. Okay, I call it the 2x4 effect. It'll happen to you too. It'll be an epiphany. It'll be a sudden thing. But it will. Okay, maybe not in the sense that they're talking about here, overwhelming, but it will happen if you do the work. Others feeling that this whole business is too far out the mystic limb for them, or maybe hallucinatory after all, will say, I just can't buy this business. I can't understand what these people are talking about. Okay. Yeah. I can understand what they're talking about. I may not understand it to the point I've got to go work on some cats here. They've got themselves in a pickle. Come on. What's wrong with all of you? Calm down. All right. I don't know what it is about cats and closed doors that drive them fucking crazy, but they do. All right. So, as most AAs have heard, I was a recipient in 1930 of a tremendous mystic experience or illumination. It was accompanied by a sense of an intense white light, by a sudden gift of faith and goodness of God, and by the profound conviction of His presence. At first, it was very natural for me to feel this experience staked me out for somebody very special. No. Nope. Nope. That doesn't make him special. Okay. I love Bill. I agree with everything Bill says. Okay. But I hear what he's saying here, that without humility in this, some people will tend to think that because they had a different spiritual experience, they are better or therefore entitled to certain things. No. Okay. The way I see it, this had to happen, or AA wouldn't have worked. Everything was set up. It was done exactly the way that it was supposed to be done, and it was perfect. And I'm not going to get jealous that Bill had a sudden spiritual experience. That was his experience, and that's awesome. Why is it not okay for me to just enjoy somebody else's spiritual experience? I had a friend talk yesterday at a meeting, right? I was thinking about this morning, and they did a spectacular job. They did a great job. I was very, very proud of them. Okay. Not once did I get jealous. And that's so cool. I'm discovering more friendship, that I was able to be 100% in for that person, right? That is a spiritual experience. Okay. And we can have them all the time. Now, As Reese said, at first it was natural for me to feel that this experience take me out for somebody very special. Okay, was Bill W. very special? Well, only in the sense that let me tell you what my thought on it is. He sacrificed a lot to make sure that this happened. Okay. And quite often people don't even know who Dr. Bob is anymore. He's a co-founder of Alcoholics Anonymous. Okay, but Bill was more in the limelight and things like that. But that's going to have to come with a lot of humility. A lot of humility, you know. And I think it shows in the 12 traditions. But you do not need a sudden upheaval. Does not need to happen. Okay. I would find that extremely uncomfortable. In fact, I have. Now, I want you to also notice in here that at no point did he say, God, talk to me. Okay. I'm sorry, but no. Yeah. Oh, I know. Oh, God was talking to me. You know, that's a dangerous area to be in. Okay. A sudden thought, an epiphany is not God talking to me. It is Dion's instincts. It is Dion's thought process. Okay. Now, is it coming from God? I don't know, but I'm going to double check it anyway. I'm always going to double check. I got it. How many times have I thought I had a great idea? Even God talking to me, it comes out of my mouth and I regretted saying it. Ever happened to you? Because it's happened to me. All right. But now, as I now look back on this tremendous event, I can only feel very specially grateful. It now seems clear that the only special feature of my experience was the electric suddenness and the overwhelming immediate conviction that it carried for me. And he's right. It's the only difference. See, good for him. His Bill W.'s spiritual experience and yours and everybody else's, they're all different. They're all different in the amount of time by seconds, maybe. You know, maybe yours didn't happen for a few weeks, man. Who knows? Who knows? And in all other respects, however, I'm sure that my own experience was not in the least different from that received by every AA member who has strenuously practiced our recovery program. Yeah, there is no difference. There's time again, you know. Hey, Bren. It's good to see you. It's been a minute. I hope you're doing okay. You've been on my mind. In all other respects, however, okay, so how often do we sit in AA meetings and hear the speaker declare, but I haven't yet got the spiritual angle? Prior to this statement, he had described a miracle of transformation which had occurred in him. Not only his release from alcohol, but a complete change in his whole attitude and life and the living it. And that's the spiritual experience. You want to know why? Because we're the last people to see things in ourselves. That's the reason why. And that's why it's a sudden epiphany. But it's been going on. It has been going on for weeks and months. This is why encouragement is highly recommended in the program, and encourage people. Encourage them. I'm glad to hear that, Bran. I am. I'm very glad to hear that. I just know that you were going through some things, so I'm really glad to hear that, and I'm proud of you. It is apparent to nearly everyone else present that he has received a great gift, and that his gift was all out of proportion to anything that might have been expected. Simple AA activity. Such an admission of alcoholism and practice of 12 steps. So we in the audience smile and say to ourselves, well, that guy is reeking with the spiritual angle, except that he doesn't seem to know yet. Well, We well know that this questioning individual will tell us 6 months or a year hence that he has found faith in God. Say something. Don't let that person wait. Now, they may not hear it. They may not hear it. But yeah, you could go up to say, you say you don't have the spiritual angle, but look at everything you've done. Look at everything that has happened in your life. Be excited for them. Be happy for them that they have made it. It is one of the most beautiful things in AA to see somebody come into the program and intentionally take their life back. Yep. Well, before I move on, I've been hearing people say, I'm going back through the steps again. I went and found another sponsor. I'm going through the steps again. Okay, you are supposed to go through the steps again. You are several times with sponsees. Okay, you don't always have to be the student to go through the steps. The best way to learn the steps is to teach the steps. So, yes, continue going through the steps many, many times with sponsees. Okay, or you're going to miss out. You can learn just as much from nobody that knows anything about the program than you can the person like myself who's been in the program for a while. We are not on different footing. So, yes, but quit finding another sponsor to take you through the big book and being new. If you have over a year of sobriety, you ain't new no more. If you have over 6 months of sobriety, you ain't new no more. Okay? So accept the fact that you're growing, that you're becoming a better person. I'm going to tell you, it's okay to be sane. It's actually beautiful. Okay? And I understood it because I didn't quite want to become sane. I didn't want to. There were parts of my insanity that I am used to. Right? There we are again. I'm so tired of this bullshit and these fucking assholes. All right. Give me a second. Every day they come on here and they do this shit. Every day now. They don't give a fuck about anybody else but themselves. Oh, there he is. Followed by 387 people. All right, Andy, I got you on the board here. Open a new tab. I'm going to go ahead and delete your shit because you're an asshole. So we'll go ahead and take the time to do that. Okay. And then we will go over here and we will block you on Facebook, Mr. Randy. Okay. Then we're going to block you on Restream. I wish you got rid of it here. All right. Sorry for the interruption, but clearly some people think it's more important to peddle their wares. Okay. And it's the same person too. And they continue to do it to me. And now I have their company name. Okay. Kira Heals. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to call my lawyer. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you a cease and desist. If you don't do that, if you don't stop, what I will do is I will sue you for torturous interference. Okay. I'm not a person to fuck with. I'm telling you that right now. I'm a very dangerous person when I want to be. So, Mr. Andy, Mr. Fake Name, Mr. Kira Heals, I would stop. She's a mycologist. Kira Heals is on Instagram. Thanks for all that. Okay? Fucking asshole. You see his finger? Fuck you. All right, let's get back to that. How's that for a spiritual experience? All right. So, yes, be encouraging. Be encouraging, right? Moreover, he may then be displaying spiritual qualities and a performance on, you know what, that happened at 18 minutes, 21 seconds. I was actually correct that somebody was going to show up at 18:21. For anybody that was here or the rewatchers, I was right. I was right. Okay. Moreover, he may then be displaying spiritual qualities and a performance that I myself have never been able to duplicate, my sudden spiritual experience notwithstanding. So nowadays, when AAs come to me, hoping to find out how one comes by those sudden experiences, I simply tell them that in all probability, they have had one just as good, and that theirs is identical, excepting it has been strung out over a longer period of time. And we don't determine time. Remember, we don't get to make that is God's time, not my time. Okay. I'm going to tell you now, if I would have saw a white light and a sudden spiritual experience, I either would have ran or thought I was going to heaven. Okay. But it would have just scared the fuck out of me. Well, guess what? God knows that. See, your spiritual experience was made for you. Wasn't made for me. Wasn't made for Bill. Wasn't made for the 2 million people in Alcoholics Anonymous. Nope, yours was individualized. It was different. It was beautifully different, right? Beautifully scary, right? Yeah, you know. Um, so quit worrying about other people's spiritual experiences and go get your own. Go get your own, man. They're cool. And they'll be made just for you. Is that cool? I think it is. Makes me trust my higher power a little bit more each time. Then I go on to say that if their transformation in AA extending over 6 months has been condensed into 6 minutes, well, then they might have seen the stars too. That's great. It's instead of wanting other people's spiritual experiences, let's celebrate their spiritual experiences. Let's do that. Some people think you can get a spiritual experience through microdosing, like Kira Heals, and you can find her on Instagram because she's a mycologist. Because we all know what that is. Sorry. Oh, it pisses me off, man. I'm not that big of a guy. Nobody here is gonna buy your shit. All right. This is why I think we should question no one's. Oh, in consequence of these observations, I have failed to see any difference between the sudden experience and the more gradual ones. They are certainly all the same piece, and there is one sure test of them all. By the fruits, ye, by their fruits, ye shall know them. See, in order to get a spiritual experience, you got to put something in. There has to be a certain level of faith, of humility. And Bill already had it. I don't know where he got it from because he was clearly an egotistical maniac while drinking. But what does it kind of tell us too? Alcohol turns us into fucking assholes, man. It does. Alcoholics are by nature very nice, beautiful people. We're great people. But for some reason, we have got to have this arduous life. And we were chosen for this arduous life. Okay? I believe it. I do believe it. This is where I get a little more religion-y. Okay? Who knows? I may have been up there going, you know what, God, I'm going to be an alcoholic this round. I want to see what I need. But who knows? But I do know that everything that I kind of went through led me to here, right? This is why we think we should question no one's transformation, whether it be sudden or gradual, nor should we demand anyone's special type up for ourselves, because our own experience suggests that we were apt to receive whatever may be the most useful for our needs. Well, that's what I was just saying. you know, and there are times when I don't even quite understand all my needs until I have them. And I'm like, oh shit, I needed that. I go out to the car and you didn't even know that you forgot your phone, and somebody comes right out, hey, you forgot your phone. It's the same thing. Oh, I didn't even know I'd forgotten it, but it was a need, right? And it got taken care of. You know, let's do this. Let's end on this. Footprints in the sand. You probably know what I'm going to read now. One, and this is Footprints in the Sand. I forget who wrote it, but I'm sure at one point that it will tell me. No, it does not, because I like to give credit. One night, I dreamed a dream. As I was walking along the beach with my Lord. Across the dark sky flashed scenes from my life. For each scene, I noticed two sets of footprints in the sand, one belonging to me and one belonging to my Lord. After the last scene of my life flashed before me, I looked back at the footprints in the sand. I noticed that at many times along the path of my life, especially at the very lowest and saddest times, there was only one set of footprints. This really troubled me, so I asked the Lord about it. Lord, you said once I decided to follow you, you'd walk with me all the way. But I noticed that during my saddest and most troublesome times of life, there was only one set of footprints. I don't understand why, when you needed you the most, why I understand when I needed you the most, you would leave me. He whispered, my precious child, I love you, and I will never leave you. Never ever during your trials and testings. When you saw only one set of footprints, it was then that I carried you. See? Our finite minds assuming certain things, right? All right. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I appreciate it. I hope you have a good day. I love you. You know I do. Even Andy here. I love him too. Doesn't mean I won't do something about it. My wife is calling. I love you. Peace out.